Welcome to Pod Watcher, the official podcast of Watcher Entertainment. I'm Ryan Bergara.
I'm Stephen Lim.
I'm Andrew Ilnicki.
And I'm Adam Bianchi.
This is a show where we chat about whatever's on our minds every week. This week we dive into themed restaurants.
Queen of Tears.
Travel photography.
Doritos dip.
All right. This is the first time I've done a podcast in here with four.
That's not true.
What?
Jason was here.
Oh, you're right. Jason was here.
Every week we'll be adding another person until...
Yeah, exactly. Andrew and Adam's Shane is not here. He is on vacation.
But collectively we make up for his height.
Yeah.
That's true. If you put the two of you together,
We make up one Shane.
You could make a Goro Shane. I think let's go ahead and let you guys do the honors and dive into one of your topics. I will say the one that makes me the most intrigued is Doritos dip.
Wait, should we... Wait. We missed like all the stuff that usually goes at the top here.
Which is what?
Subscribe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are making a podcast. It's on YouTube. If you're watching this over at youtube.com/watcherpodcast, make sure you like and subscribe. Helps us keep making the show. Or if you're listening, subscribe and rate it there. 5 stars would be helpful. If you don't want to rate it 5 stars, you don't have to do it. Don't rate it. Anyways.
Yeah, and if
that
you...
was satisfactory, right, Steve?
Yeah, that was good. And I was going to also just introduce our guests real quick.
I introduced them.
Adam and Andrew?
I believe I introduced myself.
Well, I mean, okay. We have 2 guests with us. Unbelievable. Adam and Andrew. Adam and Andrew are the co-hosts of Travel Season with Steven, which you can watch right now on watchertv.com. The first 3 episodes are available there. Or you could wait for it to start rolling out weekly on YouTube over on June 28th. Over on watchertv.com, you could download the app and watch it over on your TV or your phone and stream it that way so you don't have to watch it on your browser anymore like you did in the beta period, which is very exciting. But enough about that. Thank you guys for being on the show. We're going to dive into some topics. You guys are the guests, so we should start with one of you at least. Doritos dip is tantalizing to me in that it's seemingly not tantalizing, but I'm sure you will make it.
Yeah, I got an advertisement for Doritos dip last night. Haven't had it yet.
It worked on you then.
I'm very intrigued, but what it really made me think of is what is the fundamental enjoyment of a Dorito? Do you like Doritos?
I do love Doritos depending on the flavor. Cool Ranch,
Really?
We're in business. Anything else?
Cool Ranch is the superior core flavor. I will agree with you there.
It's pretty good. Are we high-fiving? I think if Doritos were, Pokemon, the starting 3 would be what? Cool Ranch, nacho cheese.
Probably salsa verde.
You could make an argument for salsa verde.
Just
That
for the
could
color
rotate.
spread.
Yeah, I guess red, blue, green.
Is salsa verde a green bag?
It is a green
It's a
bag.
Why
green
am I
bag.
not-
It is a green bag.
I mean, even if it isn't, it's Verde.
True. You got me there.
It's got you there.
En español.
Checkmate.
And the champ of all Doritos, the 3D from back in time. You ever have that?
I did have those.
Oh.
It's like a bugle and a Dorito had a baby.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Or were those also I remember with bugles, you could stick your finger inside of them and it would look like you have witch fingers, like little pointy fingers.
The Dorito had no hole. It's been a long time since I had those 3D Doritos, but the crunch factor on them was insane.
I do remember that. They had great mouthfeel.
Yeah. But I think part of the enjoyment of a Dorito is the fact that it is fundamentally dusty. Like it's a dry product.
Sometimes there's too much dust on a Dorito and it's a bit much, I will say. It's my one gripe with them.
Yeah.
As you get
Perhaps.
as you get to the subterranean level of the bag.
Yeah, you can maybe flavor overload down there.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes I like to eat that part first.
you're fucking twisted.
Wait, how is that possible? Are you dumping out the bag and then
Just,
I've
sucking
never
down
done
the
that, but
crumbs?
you could like turn the bag on its side, let all the big perfect Dorito or like chips. This goes for any chip really. And then you just kind of like reach over them to the bag and you get that like flavor dust.
so you're getting dust all over your forearm then.
You might get a little there for
Depending
sure.
on, I'm
For
assuming
sure.
you're having a family size bag unless it's fun size, in which case you
Oh,
could
yeah,
do
you
this
can't do
with
that.
just your
Yeah.
fingers.
There's also just not enough crushed up, little dust particles in a fun size bag.
You know what? One thing I will say about Doritos, pro Doritos points, not that we're making a pros and cons list, is that among all chips, I feel like they have the best amount of chip in the bag. Where you get like a Lay's potato chip bag, like half of that bag is air.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't eat Doritos that often because they are such an insane flavor bomb, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But when I do, I'm like, greatest thing ever. But does a Doritos dip take away part of the fundamental enjoyment of a Dorito, which is the dustiness?
Can you clarify what a Doritos dip is?
So I saw an ad for this last night. It is literally like, the Tostitos cheese dip that they sell in the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks like that. It's like that consistency, but
Uh-huh.
they're making a Cool Ranch one and they're making a nacho cheese
So
one.
is the Cool Ranch flavor dip?
Yeah, it's
What?
basically
And then
like,
you're supposed to dip Doritos into Doritos
I
dip?
don't know.
Yeah, what are you dipping in?
I don't
What is
know.
this for? I'm confused by it because, like, to me, this is kind of like playing on the Taco Bell ideology where they made like, cheesy gordita crunch in it for a while, or even just normal Doritos Los Tacos where the shell would be Cool Ranch or
Yeah,
nacho or
right.
fiery. I didn't like the nacho shell because there was already cheese in the taco. I didn't need to double up on the cheese flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So therefore, I wouldn't understand dipping a Cool Ranch Dorito in a Cool Ranch dip. But if I say had like a normal, just like a taco I made myself, or like ground beef or something, and I could dip it in the Cool Ranch dip.
Yeah.
That
I mean, it's
makes
basically like a
sense.
flavored sour cream, I'm imagining.
Is it fucked up that I think dipping a Ruffle in one of these would be good?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like Romeo and Juliet, man.
I'm gonna take this.
Wait, what?
Shouldn't be doing that.
All right, we got some Doritos dip on the TV.
Oh, here we go.
Matt's pulling it up. What is this nonsense?
They're dipping pizza in it. Now, okay, I'm on board. I get it now because I dip ranch. Not dip ranch in pizza. I dip pizza in ranch,
Okay,
and that's quite good.
I'm starting to understand now. So it's not like, you know how, like, let me think of a brand. Simple Human. Simple Human trash cans. You guys know Simple Human? It's like the
I
popular.
thought you were referring to people who dip things as Simple Human trash cans.
No. You know the trash cans Simple Human brand?
Yeah.
They create trash bags that are in the ecosystem of Simple Human. They make the size of the trash can only the size of the trash bag.
I got news for you. You can put whatever trash bag you want.
Okay, you
in those.
could.
I do.
You could.
I do.
But it's more satisfying to use the size of the Simple Human bags,
That's what they want you
the
to
J bag and the J trash can. And so I thought this was an ecosystem play. This is not an ecosystem play. We're
No.
trying to jump to pizza or fries or pasta into this dip.
Pasta?
I don't know.
Honestly, maybe if you had some like Skyline chili with some.
No. Sorry. I get emotional about Skyline chili.
Doritos
One
dip.
thing I do appreciate
Yeah,
about this
squirt it on top.
packaging is it looks bad. It's bad
It
packaging.
does look bad.
It looks terrible.
It looks like it's from 30 years ago
And
for sure.
This is something that they did with old chip packaging.
Well, what is the eye doing? Why does an eye have two dots?
It's an upside down D.
Oh,
Because you're dipping it.
Either
What's up
direction.
and what's down when you're dipping.
Oh,
Because dip can be both ways. Wow.
Whoa.
It's like an anagram.
The person who
That's
thought
not
of that
actually an anagram.
must think they are like the coolest human
I mean,
being.
that-
out
Yeah,
there.
they are.
That is
And-
I mean,
and-
the eye
and
is
the
a
eye is a
Dorito.
Dorito.
What we're describing right now for the listener is the way they wrote out dip, they put dots on both sides of the little eye so that if you were to flip this container upside down, it would still look like the word dip.
Hmm.
I swear we're not high out of our minds right now. But the one thing I do appreciate about this packaging is I like when chip bags would do this, and they still kind of do this nowadays. If there's like a flavor that, like, for instance, this has jalapeno, they have like pictures of jalapenos.
I do like that.
next to the
Yeah.
flavor. So you could be like, oh yeah, that's what a jalapeno looks like. I'm excited to eat that.
Ambigram is the word you were talking about.
Ambigram.
Ambigram.
Ooh.
Learning a new word.
There's a
today.
word for it. I love that. I'm a bit of an etymology hoe.
You're an andigram.
An ambigram is a word or design that retains meaning when viewed from a different direction or perspective.
That's fun.
That is fun.
Isn't that Princess Bride
Wait. Whoa.
that way? The
Right now
poster?
we're watching a logo that's just spinning.
I don't know. Is it? We see
It's the word
Princess,
anagram that
Princess Bride poster.
I like.
That's very well done.
You know what? I like that Princess.
Whoever
Bride.
did that was on their shit. We're now looking at the Princess Bride poster, which is the couple is standing there reflected in a lake, and then the Princess Bride text is an ambigram.
But even though them standing in the lake is an ambigram.
Is that really related to the theme of the movie, though?
Never seen this movie.
Anybody want a peanut? What?
I haven't. I've never seen
And
this
you're a
movie.
movie lover.
I know the only. I know this is the part where he's like, "My name is Diego Montoya," and he's like, "You
Yeah.
killed my father. You're now prepared to die." I know that.
You need to
part.
watch this movie.
You should watch this movie.
It's very good.
It does seem like it's good. This poster's making me want to see it. I can't wait for it to come out in theaters. Looking for a real special gift this Father's Day? Whether it's the group shot from the family reunion, the 20-pound bass he caught last summer, or his favorite photo of mom, an Aura digital frame is the best way to display dad's favorite memories. For example, I got a lot of photos of me and my dad watching Lakers or at Laker games or, doing things that dads and sons do, conversing and things like that. But I could throw these bad boys in those frames, give them to my pop, and he will have those memories preserved in a beautiful digital frame that comes to life in ways. Aura frames are beautiful Wi-Fi connected digital frames that allow you to share and display unlimited photos. It's super easy to upload and share photos via the Aura app. And if you're giving an Aura as a gift, you can even personalize the frame with preloaded photos and memories. Your father, your grandpa, your husband, or even your brother, let him see what a great dad he is with an Aura frame. And it couldn't be easier. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app, and then add unlimited photos and videos and invite as many people as you want to a frame. There are absolutely no hidden fees or subscriptions. Right now, Aura has a great deal for Father's Day. Listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $30 off on their best-selling frame. That's AURA frames.com. This deal ends June 18th, so don't wait. Use code WATCHER at checkout to save. Terms and conditions apply.
How do we feel about Doritos dip? Because my initial reaction was like, ew, like a 14-year-old kid. But now I'm like, maybe they are doing something cool here.
I dip in this.
I'm sure it's tasty, but I don't think that the best experience with this dip is going to beat the best experience with a old-fashioned Dorito. Which brings me to my main point.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Which brings me to my main point, which is that I'm going to make the claim that moisture is a crutch for foods. And
whoa.
that the best dry food is better than the best wet food.
Whoa.
Because it's harder to do. And when something is perfect and tastes delicious dry, here's just one example. A delicious, flavorful fried chicken wing that's dried and it has like some sort of seasoned dust on top is superior to a wet wing.
So you like dry rubbed wings then, as opposed to wet?
I like the texture. I like a dry exterior texture on a food. It doesn't have to be totally dry. Like it could be like,
Well, because the chicken is wet. The meat is wet.
huh?
Not a dry
Not a dry
rub.
wing.
But the meat is wet.
Yeah, the meat is wet.
The meat
yeah,
is wet.
the inside, the meat is wet. It's juicy. But the first thing that touches your tongue is that dry flavored dust. That's what I love. Like when I eat ribs, I don't want a wet rib. I want a dry exterior.
Oh,
I'm talking relatively speaking dry.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm, sticking my tongue in the desert sand, but I'm talking about a peak culinary experience, wet versus dry. A dry is a more better thing to aspire to be.
A dry noodle.
A dry noodle. It's hard to do well.
Yeah, that is true. Though I used to always take the ramen bags, like the pre-made ramen bags,
Uh-huh.
and I would smash them up, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then put the soup base in the Ziploc bag and shake it up, and you have a nice little snack. People do this.
Yeah.
You did this, right? Yeah.
I didn't do it, but I remember learning about that. And the way I saw it was just you keep the thing whole and then you open the seasoning and you sprinkle it on top and then you just eat it as
Now
a
that
brick.
feels
Like a
more
burger?
demented somehow, but I could see how that's just as demented as putting it in it. Because mine requires a Ziploc bag.
So are you cooking the noodle just by shaking it? Is this like how you make ice cream in a Ziploc bag?
No, I'm only shaking it to disperse the soup base seasoning across the crunchy, dry ramen noodles.
Oh, they're not wet. You didn't pour water.
No,
in
it's a dry noodle.
Oh.
That's why I smash it up, and they become
Gotcha.
like ramen chips with the soup-based seasoning, and it's really, in fact, I'm making myself hungry even thinking
That's
about
good on a
I
salad.
just had an insanely good idea.
it. Which is what?
Okay, drop it.
You know the munchie snack food where it's like,
Yeah.
or like Chex Mix, for example.
I love Chex
Let's throw
Mix.
some ramen noodles, some dried ramen noodles into the mixture.
They could use some diversity
That's pretty
because
good.
there are
Well,
a
I
bunch
think
of
that's a
dead
thing.
weight items.
Is it a thing?
I think
Or like
so.
a trail mix that has some ramen noodles
Yeah.
in it. Do that.
I wouldn't mind that. There's a bunch of dead weight in Chex Mix.
What?
Oh yeah.
Really? Like what?
Wait,
Like
wait,
name
wait,
one
what is
thing.
in Chex
Oh,
Mix?
I got-
Can we,
I
can
got
we
some
label
of
the
it.
ingredients
Here we
of Chex
got
Mix?
bagel chip.
Amazing.
You got, and it's the rye crisp too. You got that little rod thing, the little ribbed rod.
I love the rod. I love the rod.
The rod is easily the worst part.
Nah, dude,
The
you
rod is the
say it's
best
the pretzels.
part.
It's the pretzels.
What?
The pretzels are the
What?
worst part.
No!
Here's the thing. If I want pretzels, I'll get pretzels. I don't need that in my Chex Mix. I'm
Get-
eating around the pretzels for the most
No, the
part.
pretzels are the best part of the Chex
The
Mix.
pretzels are easily not the best part.
No, they're the best part for sure.
Okay, so
the,
I'm
the
looking
best
at
part is when one of the checks is like real dusted up.
dude, exact, and it's usually the weedy ones. But
I just
Yeah.
realized that looking at by the way, we're looking at a photo of the 6 elements of Chex Mix.
it's appropriate that the pretzel's
So,
fucking square because it's boring.
I'm the mini breadstick, and Andrew's the rye chip.
Don't you make me the pretzel?
Steven's the square pretzel.
There you go.
Oh, thank God, I'm
And
the pretzel.
Ryan's the
Ryan's-
corn checks
yeah.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
Corn Chex.
Here's the real,
down.
the nasty
and
truth.
Shane is the circle pretzel.
The
beginning and the
nasty
end.
truth is that I think Gardettos are superior anyway.
I'm not sure I've ever had Gardettos.
Cool,
Can you pull this up? I don't even
you
know
gotta
what you're
change
talking
that.
about.
The mustard dust.
Oh, the mustard ones are really good. I'm talking if you're just talking straight up
Oh.
original Chex Mix.
Oh,
These-
the mustard. Yeah, you got to go mustard on these.
But even the normal
Oh.
originals kick ass. These
Yeah.
are so
Hell
fucking
yeah,
good.
dude.
This is the same shit.
It is the same.
It's
It
the
is
same
the-
shit. It's just done better.
It just
Dude.
doesn't have checks.
Here's the thing: double roasted rye chips are better
This is
than the rye.
this is missing the
It's-
the thing that brings it all. This is missing the Captain America of the other snack Avengers.
I don't know about that. I think that double roasted rye is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Also, I think the seasoning on these is a little more intense than Chex Mix typically.
Mhm.
Yeah, that mustard play is really good.
I wonder if there's like legal issues in being able to make this versus that. Like, if they're the same thing, is that okay? The same common? Is it just because they use one less thing here?
Something tells me Gardettos is older too.
It
It
has
just has
to
an
be.
old timey vibe.
I mean, the logo does a lot of that.
Chex was
Here's something I wonder if it exists. You know how like you can go to a candy store
Yeah,
and you get like a bag and you scoop a custom mix of candies?
yeah.
How about that, but for like this sort of snack mix?
Now that's
So
an
you
idea.
can scoop different amounts, and it's like, hey, you don't want a breadstick in there? Forget about it. You can just add in peas or something.
Or take it even further. Like there's also like a little bin where you could get Cool Ranch Doritos, and then there's another bin with
Yeah.
Flamin' Hot.
It feels like
3Ds?
a really bad DTC company where you like
Yeah.
go to the website
Yeah.
and custom make it and they mail you a bag of chips.
I want it in person though. The candy shop experience for snacking.
What is DTC?
Direct to
Direct to
consumer.
consumer.
What's in your snack mix?
Oh man, if we're talking snack Mount Rushmore here,
But they have to be mixed together. They're all in the same bag. What's in your snack mix?
oh man, let's see who would be my team. I'm taking Cool Ranch Doritos for sure. I'm taking Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I'm taking. Does popcorn count?
Absolutely.
Popcorn then is the centerpiece. I'm going to work around that. If we're going, if I have to round it out with a 4, like the 4th.
You can have like 5 or 6 if you really want it.
This is.
I think you really need 5.
You're insane. Can we just stop right here? You're
I know,
insane for putting
Doritos-
popcorn alongside Doritos.
Hey, I'm not trying to see what plays well. I'm just going off the ones I like the most. We'll see if they play
you
well
just want
together.
5 bags of
They're gonna
different
I'm trying to put the
co-mingle
best
though.
players on the court. And then if they play basketball, that's another story.
Yeah, how'd that work
Yeah.
out for the Warriors?
Pretty well.
Really
they
well,
won.
actually.
Oh, really?
You should maybe say the.
I went for a long
You
shot.
should say the Nets, maybe, or the Knicks, or
Lakers even.
Lakers.
Here's the mistake I think you're fundamentally making.
I'm sure I am.
You need some boring shit in there.
Well, you didn't let me get to my
You,
fifth
you
player.
need a backdrop
You gotta-
for the
no,
star
you need
players.
a wild card. Like throw some Starburst in there.
No.
There- what? The fuck, dude? That's a candy.
I already know Adams is twisted. It's
No.
just going to be like
There's like a little white ball that's a snack that's like in one of these mixes.
a white ball.
That's
Oh,
like a-
yeah,
it's
like
like
a
a gar-
yogurt drop.
No, it's like a garlicky, salty kind of ball.
Garlic nuts?
Is it like in Chex Mix? I swear this exists.
I don't know what that
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. You guys, until I find this, that's gonna be my fifth.
That's
gotta
fine. I
find
got
it.
some information about Chex Mix. Wheat Chex was created in 1937, Rice Chex in 1950, Chex Mix in 1952.
Wow.
The Gardettos mix we know and love was created in 1932.
Whoa.
Wow.
General Mills bought Chex Mix in 1997 and Gardettos in 99.
Oh, the
Oh.
conglomerate wins once again in America.
This isn't the same thing, but when Andrew and I worked at Tasty, we were introduced by a coworker to peanuts with
Ooh.
Szechuan peppercorns in it.
These were so
and that
good.
is the ultimate
They
snack.
were insane. Oh my God. They were so good. This was so good.
I found it. Cheez-It baked snack mix. There's a Cheez-It baked snack mix, and there's a
pretty
little white rice ball in them. Have you ever had these before?
Dude.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Yes.
This kicked ass. Cheez-It
That's good.
Cheez-It snack mix. Actually, I might say this is better than Gardetto's and Chex Mix because it has Cheez-Its, which are fucking fantastic. Which I'm also team Cheez-Its over Goldfish any day.
I didn't know that those were
Yeah, I would
warring
never put
nations.
those.
When it comes to the
Against each other.
the cheesy snack kind of pantheon of greats,
What about flavored blasted goldfish?
that's too much.
You ever go with that?
It's too much. It's too much cheese for me. You seem to be a powder hound, though.
Yeah. I like dry, dusty flavors.
You licking your fingers after?
Oh, yeah. Wait, what are we talking
That's
about?
you in New York on the subway, just licking your fingers.
No.
flavored with
It's
double
cool. You
blasted
got to do
goldfish.
this at home, and you're in a safe and in a sterile environment.
That's not the subway.
You got to like get scrubbed for surgery before you do this kind of eating. Here's
I just
my list.
imagine you alone in your house, like walking like this
Yeah.
to have your Chex
Oh, yeah.
Mix.
What was your list?
I don't, man. All right, I'm gonna just try to represent the groups. I think I'm gonna have a type of cereal. I'm gonna go with Special K. It's
Okay.
kind of like a boring, dry backdrop.
Interesting.
Okay.
I really like Special K. Great with bananas.
I love Wheaties, but I'll go with.
I'm gonna go with wasabi peas in there.
Okay. I mean, overall, or is there a specific kind?
Huh?
I guess there's not really one brand of wasabi peas that reigns
No, I don't
supreme.
have a specific one in mind.
Yeah, but just in general.
Actually, let me take that back. Wasabi peanut. You ever have that?
I have had that. That's quite.
That's
good.
quite good.
Yeah.
All right, that's going in there. Thanks for jogging my memory.
Oh fuck! There's one now I want to add. Shit.
Shit, what's 3?
Have you ever had the wasabi almonds though?
No.
You know, the almonds that are covered in the wasabi
No.
like those are really good.
What about dried mangoes?
Ooh, dried fruit. Yeah,
I'm not a big
now we're
dried
like
fruit guy. I'm gonna
now
be
we're in the
honest.
trail mix territory.
dried
Yeah.
fruit is just it's not for me.
I can't complete my list. It's too hard. It's maybe I'll think of more things.
You have wasabi peas. No, you have
No, I
wasabi
have
peanuts.
wasabi peanuts
Special
and
K.
Special K so far.
That's where you stopped.
I can't.
Is Special K the one that comes with freeze dried strawberries?
There is a strawberry variant, but that's not. Ooh,
Oh.
maybe I throw some of that freeze dried fruit in there though. That's kind of a good idea.
Do you like the astronaut like ice cream?
No,
You would get that at like the science museum. I'm not.
It
I'm
is
not.
dry.
no, I'm not into that.
So you're a
Sorry.
dry guy then.
I guess in a certain sense, sure.
All right, if you maybe think about your 5
Yeah,
over
if they
time.
come to me,
Let's
I'll
go to
just
the
shout
next
them out.
topic then. Nothing is worse than waking up at night, tossing and turning because it's just too hot. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent 99% of bacteria and require 3 times less laundry. And not just clean, they keep you cool too. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are also luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Go to trymiracle.com/watcher to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo Watcher at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/watcher and use the code WATCHER to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/watcher to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Who wants to go next, Steven?
Adam? Let's go Adam. Yeah.
I'm curious, you have travel photography.
Yeah, so this is a shameless plug for our show, Travel Season, but we integrated travel photography into it by, just taking pictures during the show. And it's something I like to do. And I'm curious, specifically with you, if you like to do that as part of travel, if it's something you think about, if you have travel photography regrets or like the types of photos you take. For example, I'll often take photos not for aesthetic reasons, but just like documenting the place I'm at to get the geotag so that I can remember where it was,
Yeah.
stuff like
the
that.
most efficient, kind of purposeful way to go about travel photography, but it's better than what I do, which is I just don't take pictures. And I do lament that often. There's something about taking a picture that I just don't enjoy. Not so much even me clicking the shutter myself, but I don't like having pictures taken of me for whatever reason. Like when we're like, oh, let's pose for a picture right now. I don't know. I don't have that feeling with video for some reason, obviously. But when it comes to pictures, I don't know. There's just something about it, the posed nature of it, that always makes me feel, I don't know, trapped. I like having them later because it's like, oh, it's nice to have a picture of me somewhere that I can remember the trip. And my wife is so much better at this. Like, we should take a picture here. And I will admit, I'm not always the best about like agreeing to it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, all right. And then later I'm like, look at us there. And I'm like thankful that she actually, made me do that. I need to get better at that.
I could see you being the dad though, that like takes the most pictures.
That's true. I take a
trips.
bunch of pictures of my little Vinny Man, my dog.
Yeah.
I have so many pictures of Vinny. I have an album called The Pee-Pee Man. And it's just full of Pee-Pee Man photos. For the kids, I definitely will be taking a lot of pictures. But I don't know. I don't really even take a lot of selfies. Sometimes I will take a selfie though if I'm like in a place traveling. Sometimes we'll go for ghost files and I will, go look at a site myself because people are tired or, people split off sometimes. And I'll take like a little selfie in front of like whatever I'm at just to be like, all right, here's me in front of this. I was here. But there's no like, I'm never going to post that or anything. It's just for me to be like, I was there. I'm going to remember this.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't like that though. And I think part of it is because the picture taking is attached to my phone.
Yeah.
Which is why I like in Travel Season how you guys have your little analog film camera.
Yeah.
I wish I had a point and shoot now.
Yeah, I definitely like having a camera separate from my phone. And it's funny, like when I started working professionally and we would use like the Canon DSLRs.
Yeah.
I had my own Canon DSLR.
Yeah.
And I loved taking photos with it. And anytime I would do any sort of travel, I always loved it. And then it became the camera I used at work every day. And then I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
And so I got a different camera, and I started doing film photography.
When you are taking pictures, are you doing any of it for any kind of like artistic value, like framing a shot? Like if you see like a field of flowers, are you framing the flowers in the foreground and getting like a mountain in the background? Like, or are you just pointing and shooting?
I mean, I like it is like an artistic thing for me. Like I'm trying to be creative with it and take photos that I find interesting compositionally, but I like doing more snapshotty stuff. Like I'm not trying to do like a super composed, like beautiful sunset photo or like a great photo of a mountain and stuff. It's usually just like silly photos of the people we're with. There's when we went to Australia together for Worth It. Yeah. We had one day where we were by the Sydney Opera House.
Oh, that's cool.
And Andrew was like, take a photo of it, but put these palm trees directly in front of the opera house. And so it's like one of those photos that looks like a really bad vacation photo of someone who just like took a picture and didn't think about it. Cause like the opera house is in the background, but there's just like 8 palm trees directly in front of it.
Yeah.
And then completely open on either end.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that. That's like very funny to me, but it's not like a good photo.
I think like a good photo lacks sometimes some voice or soul because it's
I
like,
agree. Yeah.
it's funnier to have a snapshot.
I used to aspire to come away from trips with like beautiful, professional feeling photos. Like, oh, I'm going to get the sunset. The composition's going to be great. This is a landscape. This is a cityscape, yada, yada. Like, I'm going to come away with like National Geographic feeling photos.
Yeah.
And it like never panned out. Like never successfully done it.
Yeah.
I used to come away with like folders of digital photos, and I would look at them after the trip and be like, this is all just useless garbage. Like, I really wasted my time. And then like, I don't know, it was in the past couple of years, I was looking back at old photos. And even though I was like, yeah, these photos are all still bad, suddenly there was this different value in them where I was like, oh, I remember where I was standing where I took that.
Yeah.
And it like unlocked some memory that I had previously kind of forgotten. And that's when I was like, oh, I should just be doing more snapshotty stuff. Like, if something feels like something I want to remember, I should just like take some picture of it.
Well, Shane and I do this thing called sound prints where we will, if we are like, my memory is most attached to sound. So like if I'm standing in like an area and I'm like, oh, I want to remember this place, I will like pull out my voice memo and then just press record. And then what your voice memo does is it will actually title it the location automatically where you are.
Wow.
But consequently, we spend a lot of time at a certain hotel chain when we go to Ghost Files, and it's a very budget hotel chain, but I have a bunch of just sound prints of us standing outside of this hotel, just like this place. But I have them all over the world, like, you know, traveling theme parks, things like that.
That's neat.
So it's kind of a similar ideology to that. Though I will say, I feel like if it wasn't for social media, everyone would still be taking sunset photos. They would.
Oh, just because it's been so vastly shared that now it's becoming
like a meme almost. And also, if you want that, you could find that on Instagram. But like with no social media, I would be like, I got to capture the sunset to see what it looks like because it's beautiful.
I mean, social media has accelerated the cycle of quote unquote art and photos, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and now it's like swinging back to where people value being more candid and doing the like photo dump aesthetic.
I remember on one of our trips, I don't remember which one it was, but you guys both were obsessed with taking blurry photos.
Blurry photos? Oh, yeah.
Which trip was that? And just the entire trip, you guys just like kept taking photos while like moving your phone.
Yeah, we were in New York. We were competing to take like the worst. It's kind of like the palm trees in front of the opera house. So like using flash.
Yes, you have to have the flash on. This is the key. It's like if you're in a dark restaurant and there's, you know, it could be a plate of whatever, but you have the flash and there's always that moment where like the phone lags.
Yeah.
And it like does the flash and then right in that moment you like zoom in. You know, you just like whip your hand towards it. So then you get all this motion blur and then it's like a slice of cake that looks drunk and there's like blinding flash everywhere. And it actually made some pretty great photos.
Yeah.
They're very hilarious.
But then much later, we were trying to, we had a video where we were like, oh, we need to talk about this food.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, look, we took photos of that. And then we only had these horrible photos of the food.
I have seen that now in 2023, 2024 become a trend with Gen Z of how they take photos. So like turn on the flash and then they'll like wiggle their camera right when they take the photo and like, I don't know, everything that you could possibly do has been done or is being done. And
yeah, there definitely has been a devaluing in a pristine, professional looking photo. I'm sure it'll come back eventually, but.
Remember Boomerang?
Oh yeah, I remember Boomerang.
Oh, do people do that still?
I think some people still do it kind of like nostalgically or ironically.
Yeah, for a while there were so many brunch cheersing boomerangs.
God, yeah.
Have you seen the thing that it's like it's a millennial tell if you're using portrait mode because Gen Z doesn't like the look of the
depth of field.
Yeah, the depth of field.
They don't like the pristine looking nature.
Yeah, they prefer to just use the everything in focus iPhone.
That makes sense.
That's good to know. Which is annoying because sometimes maybe I'm on the same wavelength. I will I don't know how to disable the setting on my iPhone. I'll take a picture and I'll look at it later and I will discover that it was somehow in portrait mode. Like it did it automatically. There's actually, I think, a toggle now between portrait and standard.
It has all the data stored into it.
Which I don't want this portrait mode.
Well, I think you can turn it off in post now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
I'll check that later.
Yeah, you edit the photo.
Should we move on to another topic here?
All right. My topic is Queen of Tears, which I am probably assuming none of you have even heard of or seen. Is that correct?
No, but I could probably guess what it is.
It's a K-drama.
Yep, guessed correctly.
And I bring it up facetiously because also you guys talk about movies all the time that I haven't seen, so why not just dish it back? But I realize it's less fun when nobody has seen the show. I have nothing to...
And also the audience has seen the stuff they're talking about.
It's like number one on Netflix right now, so
tell us your favorite part. In fact, sell us on it.
Yeah, really slam us.
Well,
dude.
yeah, I want to tell you about this show and why I love it so much and why you should watch it. So it is a K-drama that incorporates a lot of the old school tropes of K-dramas. You know, there's lots of accidents and there's death and there's family and there's like wealthy conglomerates involved. There's a lot of the right recipe, the right pieces of a recipe to make a good K-drama. But they also play
snack food conglomerates.
This one is a department store conglomerate. You would want to watch Itaewon Class, which is about a restaurant conglomerate against a small restaurant business. That's a good one.
Like a You Got Mail type scenario.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's a good movie. I just saw it for the first time recently.
Really?
Oh, really?
Great film.
It's a great film, yeah.
Anyway, and
we just start talking about You Got Mail.
You like, you like how he keeps talking about Godfather in it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Like how Dave Chappelle is Tom Hanks' best friend somehow.
I completely forgot about that. It's nice. It also brings me back to my AIM days.
With Queen of Tears, I liked how it does like a very like genuine but also ironic take on Korean dramas, and I don't know, I think like I liked it a lot because it's very easy to watch, it's very fun. The thing I like the most about the TV and movies that I watch are that they are easy to watch.
Like comforting?
Comforting. Like what's that one? I always reference this movie because it's so bad, but I enjoyed it.
The Greatest Showman.
That movie, but also the one where the guy in the school is bullied. It's a musical.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen. Classic bad movie that I enjoyed watching.
Never saw it. Or the play.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't like it.
I love musicals, so you never know.
And also just like, I think with K-dramas too, it's just, nice to see Asian faces on the screen. I don't always bring it back to that, but for me, it's nice to see that. And, Netflix like really pumps money into these K-dramas.
So it's a Netflix
original
show.
And I think they partnered with CJ, which is like a big conglomerate in Korea. So, and also I've been binging it right now. I'm on episode 15, and should I spoil some of it? Maybe I shouldn't spoil it.
I'm never gonna watch this show.
No spoil.
You're never gonna watch it. I didn't do a good job of hard selling it. Hey, if you haven't seen it in out there, please help me convince Ryan to watch.
There's too much television is the thing, and I'm already so behind in all the television I
currently like
watching.
This one. Have you seen a K-drama before?
I haven't, so I guess maybe it would be nice to expand my horizons.
If there was one to watch, this would be a good one because it does combine elements from like all different types of K-drama. And yeah, I think it's like Succession-esque in that they try to really represent a thing that they try to represent like a real family and a real thing that happened. It's a cool window into Korean culture.
Interesting.
Did I convince you?
Look, I'll give it a try. I'm willing to give anything a try.
You gotta give it 3 episodes.
I'm just wary of starting another thing that I become obsessed with because I have an obsessive mind and I could see myself falling into this and then being like, now I got to watch all these K-dramas.
But maybe some soothing content would be good for you.
Nothing soothes me.
Have you tried K-drama?
I haven't tried K-drama.
Have you tried dry foods?
No, I haven't tried dry foods.
Have you tried geotagging your travels?
I'll eat dry food while taking a picture of my feet and then watching K-dramas so I can get the geotag. All three at the same time.
Have either of you guys seen any K-dramas before?
I have not watched one in entirety, but my wife has watched many, and I've
Ooh.
watched
Which ones?
parts of episodes. Crash Landing Into You.
So the writers of this show are the writers of Crash Landing. So
Okay.
if she liked Crash Landing, you might like this show.
Oh, I'm sure she would like it.
I'll give it a try. I'll watch the first 2 or 3 eps and then I'll report back on a future pod.
And I
How
like
about
how
that?
like ridiculous they do. Like when ridiculous things happen in the show, they're not like precious about it. They just, they know. It's a very self-aware show.
I appreciate that.
That's it for me.
Look, I'm gonna get into some themed restaurants. I don't really know what I'm gonna say about them. I just know I love them quite a bit. And I was curious. I feel like you bring up the phrase themed restaurant, and most people are like, "You're trash." But I do appreciate them. There's something about being in an immersive environment. I'm all about immersion, I think is what it comes down to. I like sometimes I feel pressure at like a dinner, especially if it's like a one-on-one. Like if I'm obviously I don't really feel this with my wife, but like if I were to be like, here's an old friend's like, hey, let's get some like drinks or like let's go grab dinner. I don't know what it is. There's something about one-on-one situations that always make me a little anxious. Whereas if I'm in a group, I don't get that.
We're the opposite.
So are you saying if you were in a one-on-one dinner in a themed restaurant, it would soften it for you?
It would, because now I'm doing it around, animatronic monkeys and elephants in the Rainforest Cafe.
Uh-huh.
There's things to bounce off of other than just we should be having a conversation and it should be flowing here. The only time I've actually ever really been comfortable doing one-on-one conversations is like if it's like an interview, like on camera or something like that. But like there is a pressure that I have with one-on-ones. I don't know how this delved into this.
Is this the thing of like men can't just be friends with each other? They have to like do an activity to feel comfortable?
It's not even it's not even gendered. Like it could be anybody. There's something about being one-on-one with somebody that I feel the pressure to be on, and I don't know how to make it feel normal. But if I'm in a group, I don't feel that because, let's say like someone else in the group is talking, I could log out for like 2 minutes and like, just listen and then not have to be talking.
Do you also, do you know who Dusty Slay is, the comedian?
No. Who?
I heard him on a podcast recently talk about how like in a one-on-one conversation, you have to be you, but in a group scenario, you can play a character.
You know what?
You can play a role within the group.
There could be something there. I think in a group scenario, I could get away with just being like, oh, I'm going to just try to make myself and everyone else laugh.
Yeah.
And that's like where I'm the most comfortable. But if it's like solo,
Like you're going to be the pretzel of the snack mix and
Yes.
everyone will laugh at how disgusting you are.
or I'll be the little white ball of the Cheez-It snack mix and everyone's going to be like, I like that white ball. I don't like it all the time, but when that white ball pops up in my handful, because no one's like, unless you're a psychopath, you're not like hand picking your Chex Mix with every like handful, unless you are.
It depends on how the fates have been treating me in my most recent handfuls.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if I'm going and I'm getting 3 handfuls of mostly pretzels, I'm going to start curating my experience. But the point being, yeah, I guess there might be some truth to that, Adam. I never really thought about that. This is something my wife and I talk about often, where like she'll be like, "Oh, you went and had dinner with one of your friends. How did that go? Were you uncomfortable?" And I will be like, "Yes, I was uncomfortable for like the first 10 or so minutes, but then usually I will have a cocktail, or if we're in a very kind of like stimulating environment, then like I'm able to calm down." Because like I think that surprises most people when I say I have like social anxiety, because they're like, I don't see that, but like it's only when we're alone. Steven and I don't really have that with him because we're mostly talking about business and my mind's preoccupied about that. But anytime we have had like more normal conversations, I even feel it then.
You're also both anxious people, so I think you might cancel each other out.
It's like if you perfectly point 2 speakers at each other, you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's noise canceling. So this isn't really about themed restaurants. It's about social anxiety.
Maybe, but no, I mean, but it is. I guess it turned into that. But
I was thinking recently how I wish that there were more themed dining environments.
I do too. I think
with other themes, more varied themes.
Social anxiety aside, I think they are super fun. And I also just like themed things. I actually just watched the Jenny Nicholson 4-hour video, and she talked about how one of the things she does in a city when she gets there is looks up themed hotels or themed experiences that she could go experience. I'm very similar just because I like when someone puts effort into something to tell a story. And I enjoy that. Whereas like anybody could, obviously they're putting effort into their food and like the presentation, but there's another layer when it comes to themed restaurants.
You also like commitment to a bit.
I do like commitment to a bit. That's why I like tiki bars. I think they're very funny.
Yeah.
And I feel very comfortable in a tiki bar.
I was thinking about this recently with tiki bars specifically. I wish that there were places like bars that were not tiki, but had the same commitment to like the fun atmosphere of it. Like, what if it was just, and I guess some tiki bars are pirate themed, but like, pick a genre, pirate.
Oh, a pirate bar?
Or
they're making one in Disney World, I think. I think it might be more kind of Disney-ish, but I feel like a full out, like if you went to a themed pirate bar and they had characters that walked around and were like more adult pirates.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun.
Or how about like medieval? Like knights.
Medieval times, you ever been there?
I have, but not since 5th grade graduation.
The last time I went to Medieval Times, I went with Shane for a fellow coworker's birthday, and it was very memorable because they had rented a party bus, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then so we went in the party bus, everyone got very drunk, we went to Medieval Times, we were perfectly primed for it, and the first thing that happened is there's this giant, I think it was like an eagle or something, flies across like the audience to kind of set the tone, and the eagle was flying, and it crashed straight into a wall and killed itself. And it just fell to the ground.
Was it a real eagle?
It was a real eagle.
Oh, now I'm sad.
And the whole arena went silent. And it just like, our group of drunk people were just like, just shell shocked.
That'll kill the buzz.
And we were just like, what the fuck just happened? And some people were like, kind of lightly like applauding because they're like, is that part of the show? Was it like an animatronic? I don't know where I was going with this, but Medieval Times, that was my most prevalent memory of that. And then it felt a little weird to be cheering for knights.
What's an ambiance you wish you could live in that's not often represented?
Western.
Western
is probably my favorite theme. I was walking with my wife recently, and I was like, you know what I really dig and why I like Ghost Town and Knott's Berry Farm? It's because it's a Western theme, and you don't see that often, and I love a Western theme. And she was like, Ryan, you like a theme. It doesn't matter. It could be a space theme. It could be a sci-fi theme. It could be, an old noir theme. You are a sucker for a theme. She is right, but I will say that a Western theme always really gets me going. I don't know what it is about it. I like it a lot. Like
that old wood smell.
The old wood smell. I like a saloon. I like the idea that there's a horsey waiting for me outside. There's danger, an element of danger.
Sure.
I could get shot in the street. I don't want that to happen. Also, the fact that I inherently wouldn't belong in a Western theme, and yet here I am. I think part of it also is, there's no Asian people in like a Western movie like that. So it's like, I'm out of place here.
Do you think you'd do Westworld?
I would go to Westworld.
That's fucked up.
But like, I would. I'm going to be honest. I think I would go to Westworld, but I wouldn't be doing like the crazy shit. I would be just like taking care of I'd be riding my horse.
Do you have a favorite Western?
My favorite Western's 3:10 to Yuma.
Ooh.
The remake with Russell Crowe, directed by James Mangold. I haven't seen the original. 3:10 to Yuma or, oh my God, what's the one with Jeff Bridges and Haley Steinfeld?
True Grit.
True Grit.
Oh, the True Grit remake, yeah.
But I think 3:10 to Yuma is incredible.
Are there Old West foods that you'd like to eat at a themed restaurant? What are you eating there? Can of beans?
Whiskey?
Eggs.
Oh, see, now that's where I'm
Pickled egg? I've never had a pickled egg. That's something that they always do in movies.
Is that a thing?
Like old bars, there's like a big jar of pickled eggs. And so you just pop one out and eat it.
I have no idea. I mean, I will say that I don't think I would enjoy the Western food that much unless it was like a steak or like, chicken. You ever play like Red Dead Redemption when you're cooking like a chicken over like your campfire when you're saving the game? That looks nice.
I want to go to the restaurant. I don't know if it's a theme restaurant. I guess it is in Frasier, where they cut your tie off and hang it on the wall.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Is that a thing?
It's a thing in Frasier.
Ryan, would you go to one of those restaurants where the wait staff is like really rude to you?
Oh yeah, I would love that. I would love a restaurant. I like if you're talking about the theme just being, the servers being an asshole to me, I love that. I think that's fun.
You feel about restaurants on a boat.
Restaurants on a boat, great. Look, if it has a theme and it commits to it, I'm on board. And there's so many of them out there. There's not enough though.
Especially if it's on a boat.
We should have a top 5 beatdown of themed restaurants because obviously Rainforest Cafe's in there. You probably got your, I guess you could consider Claim Jumper and Outback themed.
Outback is definitely Australia themed. It's not an Australian restaurant.
Yeah, that's probably. I don't think it's themed well though.
Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
You consider Dave & Buster's a theme restaurant?
What's the theme?
It's more like an arcade.
Arcade theme.
Yeah, Bubba Gump Shrimp.
Bubba Gump Shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of Bubba Gump Shrimp. There's got to be other themed ones that I'm forgetting. I feel like there should be more medieval times, and then there's also that pirates themed restaurant that's in
like medieval times,
except with pirates. And I've never seen it, and I've always wanted to do it, but I can never bring myself to do. You've done it, Matt?
I directed a BuzzFeed video there.
Oh,
it was cool. It was fun. Talented people.
That sounds fucking great. Anyways, I don't have too much more to say about this. I just love themed restaurants. Are you a fan of themed restaurants, Stephen?
You and me are different people, and I find that out more and more each day on this podcast.
We are indeed. Do you like tiki rooms? Like tiki bars?
I do.
You know what it is also? I think themed restaurants is I like a restaurant that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a place where you're allowed to be kind of goofy. And I like that. Because sometimes I get intimidated by like a fancy restaurant. I'm just like, ugh. Yeah. This is a lot. And then there's like a certain like kind of decorum you have to adhere to. And it feels like, I don't know.
Humorless.
It's humorless.
Yeah.
Which really takes the pleasure out of stuff. I agree with that big time.
And I find that hard for me.
You know, it's kind of like, it's not a themed restaurant, but there's something about barbecue restaurants that I always feel like,
oh yeah,
I'm adjacent to a theme.
Yeah, because the theme is you're gonna dig in. Let's get nasty and dirty. They got they don't even have napkins. They usually have a roll of paper towels.
It's the
smoke. Something Frontierland about it,
and how big the smokers are, and
well, isn't Ohio it's big on themed restaurants? Like you and Adam, technically from like one of the themed restaurant capitals of the world. It feels like that in Orlando. Like there's a bunch of themed restaurants in Ohio, isn't there? Or am I just mixing that up? Because they have like theme parks there as well.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I honestly don't know.
Maybe
I'm sure there are, but
I might be just mixing it up with chains. There's a lot of chains in Ohio.
There are a lot of chains in Ohio. We are the capital for sure.
But chains. Orlando is the themed restaurant capital. There used to be a bunch of cool things. Like in New York, there was even a place that was like, I think it was called like Frank and Jekyll and Hyde's restaurant. You ever see that?
No.
It's like a horror themed restaurant. There's also like primetime 50s diners. There's like, old school diner themed restaurants. Yeah. I don't know.
Honestly, that's the crossover.
Hooters is a themed restaurant.
Hooters is a themed restaurant. Yeah.
This going to Orlando with the Ghoul Boys and the Travel Season Boys and doing theme restaurants is the crossover.
How is that?
I don't know. We all eat at these theme restaurants together. Is that not the crossover?
That would be pretty good.
I'm down.
I mean, I think that's pretty good. I will say the Ghost Files crew is probably getting tired of me taking them to themed restaurants because like we go to Rainforest cafes whenever I see them. And that's
what I'm saying. Might as well make that into a show.
There's got to be somebody doing like themed dinner party stuff that you could sign up for where you like get in the appropriate outfit and you like a murder mystery party, but
I've never done one of those.
You also do some snacks. I've never done one either. I've only seen them in movies and they look like a lot of fun.
And I wonder if I'd like it. I think there's a part of me that would like it, but there's also another part where I would feel like I kind of want to just take in the theme. I don't know if I want to take part of the theme, but then I could see myself getting into it. I don't know.
You want to be like a background actor in the thing.
Yeah, like I don't want to be there to like have any attention on me. I want to sit there and look at a pirate be funny.
Yeah.
or like a tiki bar and watch a guy make drinks and have like, a shipwreck in the background. That's fun to me. But I think that might be that for this episode of Pod One.
I am ready to reveal my snack list.
Oh, let's do it. This is a good way to close the episode
I've
out.
been thinking about it this whole time.
Let's go.
Here's my snack mix. I think it's approximately 5 or 6. All right. Starting off with where I left off.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to revise one of them.
Okay, so Special K or the jalapeno peanuts are gone.
No, yeah. We're going to, instead of the wasabi peanuts, I'm just going straight wasabi peas.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm doing 3D Doritos.
Okay.
I'm doing corn pop cereal.
Nice.
That's a classic.
That's a good one.
I'm doing pistachios in the shell.
Yeah.
In the shell.
Yeah.
Love it.
Now we're thinking.
Wait a second, though.
That's
If
so
you-
much work.
That prevents you then from grabbing a
Exactly.
handful
Exactly.
of everything.
Think about it.
I am. That's like the whole purpose is like you could grab a handful, right? No?
Well, you grab
Yeah,
a
you
handful,
grab a
but
handful,
you
then you're-
eat a handful?
Well, I'm saying
Yes.
You're not just,
But you couldn't
wait,
grab
you guys
like a
aren't
handful-
doing that? You guys aren't full fisting food into your mouth?
Not,
I'm not.
But
not
you
with
could get
a
lucky.
mix like that.
You could get lucky in the mix.
Well, I'm talking about like, isn't this kind of like we're talking about the adjacent Chex Mix? So like, if you had like 3D Doritos, wasabi peas, and then you had shelled pistachios, you couldn't just
Yeah.
like dig in and then throw it in your
No,
mouth.
I
It's the
guess you
equivalent
couldn't.
of cracking
You'd have
open
to unshell all your
crab.
pistachios.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do agree that unshelled pistachios do not taste as good
They
as
don't.
shelled for some reason.
You didn't work for it.
Also, I think
it is mental, right? It has to be. There's
No,
nothing
no, it's
special
not,
about that meat.
It's the casing for sure. Okay, sorry. The last one.
I'm almost at the end. And then I think I need like a pretzel chip, but not the full sized one. If it could be smaller, that'd be ideal.
Oh.
And then Malden salt.
What?
Salt?
That's where you
Big,
lost
big
me.
flakes of salt.
That's where you lost
Just
me.
mixed in.
I need a visual of Malden salt.
Malden salt.
It's too.
It's like very diamond looking.
Yes, that's what it is. Malden salt.
It's big flakes.
No.
They
Big
look, they
flakes.
look like little pyramids.
It's too salty.
No,
It's
it's
not
less
too
salty.
It's less salty.
No,
the
no,
least
but
It's less salty
salty.
per volume.
but you're adding salt to salty snacks.
These fucking Dune snacks, dude. This is salt. This is these chunky ass salt.
I was with you to the salt.
You know what? I guess it's weird that would be considered part of your snack because you would never eat that on its own. But I guess to enhance the powder of your
Some
mix.
bites will be saltier than others.
Where does one come across Malden salt?
You ever have like a chocolate chip cookie
I
with
was just
salt
thinking
sprinkled
that.
on top? That's this salt.
and it's the best.
It's a
You know,
finishing
It's
salt.
a finishing salt.
You know what though? I was with you on the list because all of the first 4 or 5 were all like similar dust particles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that made sense to me. And then you threw in the salt, and I don't know. I don't know.
No, it's good. Oh, wait, I had one more. I just remembered. This could maybe be swapped in for something else, but the dried marshmallows from Lucky Charms.
That's good. That is good because those you could enjoy dry. As corn pops, you could also enjoy dry.
I'm a little wary of adding this sweet element into the mix, but that's my list.
Well, that was a good reveal. I think that because I don't think I'm ever going to try it, but I'm never going to try mine either. So it would be nice though to try. I think you curated your list more for a collective experience,
Yeah.
whereas I did not do that.
Like a flake of this salt with a Lucky Charms marshmallow.
I do enjoy a sweet and salty mix. Like
I
a
just
chocolate chip
think-
cookie is not complete without a little bit of salt on it.
I do think that maybe my criteria is not the same as yours, but I want to be able to take a spoonful of this and eat it, and that tasting good.
The fact that you're going with spoon for Chex Mix.
It's not. It's not the spoon specifically, but it's like the idea of a like
shell.
the
and
mix
inedible.
together is what's good. You want to be able to eat all of it together.
I get wanting it to fit together, but I honestly can't think of a time I've ever eaten a scoop of Chex Mix.
You and I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
do
definitely
that.
do
I'd be scooping. I'd be scooping all the time. Like Andrew said, though, sometimes you get a bad scoop and you're like,
So even when
gotta
you
try again.
But you could like palm most of it, pop that pistachio out, drop it into the palm, and then pop that.
Where are you putting?
It's just delaying your gratification a little bit.
Wait, where are you putting the shells after you're finished?
Where they normally go, the trash.
Yeah,
but
shell
you know what I mean?
receptacle.
Like if you're on the go, then you're or eating in the car.
Yeah.
You're not. This,
I've
this
never
isn't
eaten
car
Chex
food,
Mix
you know?
in the car.
Weird.
That does it, I guess, for episode. Thank you guys for hopping on this
Thank
episode
you.
of Pod Watcher. And also, we do have some behind the scenes discussions on a show called Travel Season Roundtable, which is a little Watcher TV bonus show. And if you want to see that, you could also go see that at watchertv.com
It's
as
hosted
well.
by
as
the old Bragoos.
it is hosted by me
That's right.
and with these three gentlemen. And we're talking about everything
That's right. We're in it too.
and we go through everything that goes into making that show episode by episode. So you could see, like I said at the top, the first 3 episodes of Travel Season, as well as this bonus show over at watchertv.com or on the app, the Watcher TV app. But until next time, thank you guys for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.